welcome to 28 before 28, where I make 28 brews before my 28th birthday. And today's day 12, and the card that I received for today was adjustment. This is known as the Justice card in the Rider Waite Tarot, and I'm so glad I got to experience this card, and specifically from the Thoth deck, because it gave me such a different perspective um on justice, on balance, on Libra energy, and also on the idea of balancing the scales. It was just so eye-opening, and I'm so grateful I got this. And the plant or the herb that I got was just so freaking fitting. I feel like at this point, like, I reached the point where everything has been aligning so perfectly that I'm like, I try not to be surprised, but each time I'm like so excited and curious to be like, okay, what do I have? And then I read about it, and then I'm just like, oh, of course it like aligns perfectly. But the one that I got for today is passion flower, and I'm so excited to drink this tea. You have no idea. I'm so excited for this tea. Um so the adjustment card, actually, before we start, I just want to say I do have a link below in my bio or my description, depending on where you're watching this, to raise funds to support Sudanese humanitarian aid. Right now, Sudan is going through a horrendous war, and there's a genocide going on in Darfur. People are being killed by the masses, and they need our support. They're literally relying on us to help bring in food, bring in medicine, bring in aid in any form, and also provide them with shelter and somewhat safety. Please, if you have anything to donate, please do. And if you do not have the $5 to donate on that link, if you want to send a dollar or two, please send it through my link tree, and I will send the funds as they come through. Thank you, and keep eyes on Sudan. All right, you guys, the adjustment card. Okay, so this is what has been happening in the past few days, okay? So yesterday I got to have a conversation. It wasn't yesterday, it was like 2 days ago. I had a conversation, or a conversation was had with me. And I was given feedback on something, right? And I heard it. I held it. I received it, and I just refused to take it in, right? And I was just looking at it, and I was just like, oh, this thing, and I don't like this thing, and I was just like so focused on it. I am a Libra rising, okay? Like energetic degree, like the end of the Libra rising, okay? It has not been an easy journey. I have to say, it has not been an easy journey learning about this Libra rising situation, you know what I mean? But I love me, Mother Justice, like, and I love working with her. She is incredible. And you know what I mean? Like, she actually comes through, like, she keeps me on my toes, okay? And for the longest time, I just felt like uh I felt almost like attacked. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, why are you coming at me? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I felt for a really long time. But then slowly, these past few years, I've been getting like better and better at understanding that aspect. And it came to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I get where this is. But one of the things that happens being a Libra rising that I've noticed in my life is like the idea of like the mirroring, because the aspect of Libra is about the mirror, right? It's about balancing the outside with the internal, the external with the internal, and you are the scale. You know what I mean? Like, you are what you're trying to balance the world with, or and the other way around, right? Like, you the way it happens is that you want to align yourself, your inner truth, with the outer truth, and that it mirrors. But if it's all messed up, then the outside is messed up, and vice versa. So when it comes to relationships, which is also an aspect of Libra and also aspect of Venus, because this is a Venus ruled card, it's about relationships, right? So I have learned about, like, when it comes to relationship and I'm having an issue, specifically when it's something that I'm disagreeing with, something I'm rejecting, something I'm resisting, a lot of the times it is seen as, oh, this person is bringing this thing to me and I'm rejecting it. When in reality, it is like, no, this person is reflecting something for me, of me, or something like that, and it's bringing it out, and it's actually not about that person at all, right? So when I catch myself being like looking at something like this, I literally have to just allow myself to kind of relax and let it through until that like my vision from this thing just turns inward, right? So I have to shift my focus from here inward so that I get to receive that truth as is. And one thing is that I don't try to fault myself. I don't try to blame myself. I don't try to control how I'm seeing this. The only thing is that I try to just call myself back into myself, because whatever this is, whatever the trigger, whatever the feelings that are came up, I allow myself to have those feelings, right? I don't like to shame myself. I try not to shame myself, and that's actually been a big process, and not to judge myself for having the feelings, or like being mad or whatever, because I know that it's gonna soften, right? It's gonna go from those swords that are trying to cut through, and then slowly turn in, and like finally I can receive that truth and just let it sink in, right? The way how it used to show up before is that when I like do something, right, like I react to something, is that I would like judge myself so harshly, and immediately I would try to go and apologize for the other person, right? And try to like get to the to try to solve the problem outside of me before I even um how do I say this, before I even consider myself in the equation, before I sit with myself and validate my own feelings and allow myself to be, and kind of like give that understanding to myself first before others. So growing up, I've always had that focus outside, where it's like, oh, like I can do this to people and blah blah blah. So it's like like everyone had main focus before myself, so everyone came first, even though a lot of those people were reflecting things within me. So as I was like growing up and like sitting more with the energy of Libra and whatnot, that is something that I allow myself to sit, and no matter how long it takes, I give myself that until that truth has fully settled in me, and then I can see it for what it is. Then I then focus on the other person and just be like, okay, now what has my actions like in, like now I take accountability in terms of like, okay, the outside world, and like other people and whatnot. So that process has been helping me a lot because of that shift. Like I said, I've always been kind of focused outside on other people and trying to kind of make sure that everyone's being pleased and whatnot, which is a very like Libra thing, right? But it's about the balance, where I was like, no, like if there's turmoil, I want to balance that. But who is the person like what am I balancing it to? My internal compass. And I've had this conversation before with someone, and someone was like, people are talking about how Libras are the peacekeepers and whatnot, and then I'm like, yeah, but whose peace are they maintaining? It's often themselves, right? Like they are the scale themselves. So it's like they are on the other side of the scale. So whatever is being rocked, they will make sure to bring that exactly where they can meet it, exactly balance, and be like, okay, this I can handle. Right? So it doesn't always happen like that, but that's kind of like the idea of the scales. When I read about passion flower, right, what I immediately understood from this, okay, first of all, the herb, even in the packet, it says it's about love, it's about peace, and it's about passion, prosperity, but also emotional balancing, right? So it's like the words of this card, the adjustment card, is in here, right? The balance, this card has scales in it, right? Do you see the scales, right? And then there is the aspect of the what do you call it? Sorry, the piece in it, right? Where like the scales are like exactly just and then the word adjustment too. What I like about the Thoth deck too is that what it talks about is about how nature will do anything to rebalance itself, right? Like that's just kind of how it is, the way how it works. So a misconception of that is you think that rebalancing means it goes back to what it is, like it defaults. But I'm like, no, it doesn't default. It meets things where they're at. Libra energy is a cardinal energy. So it is an initiator energy. It means it is dynamic. It is not fixed. Fixed signs are like Scorpio, like you know what I mean? Aquarius, Taurus, like the fixed signs are fixed. But Libra is dynamic. It is like, no, let's go. Let's go. That's very Capricorn energy too. Aries energy too. It's like it's dynamic. It's on the move. So the fact that the scales are balanced does not mean that it actually stays balanced. It's that it is in the continuous act of being balanced. What I love about reading about the passion flower was that it just immediately literally just said that, oh, this is the medicine for this, right? Because Libra is also about the heart mind connection. It's about the balance of the two, the inner balance of the world, right? And your heart, your inner truth. And a lot about the passion flower, it's about that emotional balance. And with Libra specifically, you need to be able to receive that truth. Like I mentioned earlier, I was saying, like, it takes me time to kind of sit and allow that truth to be received instead of focusing on what is coming from outside of me or what has triggered it. The trigger isn't the thing. It's like coming to the root of the thing. So you have to kind of allow the truth to come in. You have to allow your body to relax to receive that clarity. I have a video that I haven't posted yet, but I will post. But it was like I get a lot of signs. I'm always being guided, and I love that, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm always being told when things are like, when things need to. But sometimes I have this fear in me that I feel like I'm doing something wrong and that I'm being punished and that I have to, like, quote unquote fix it, or like I have to be back on track on something and stuff like that. And I'll just be living my life and I'll be getting like hints and stuff like that, and I feel like I messed up in some way. So that video I was talking about how actually I have all the tools that I need in order for me to receive something within me, to know exactly. So if I am not receiving something, those signs and stuff like that are telling me like, hey, pay attention, right? So then what do I do? What I need to do in that moment is to clear the channels, right? To allow my body to receive that information, to receive that truth, whatever it is that it's coming my way. So what I did was that I went and exercised and stretched and whatnot. And as I was sitting in the freaking hot tub, everything that I needed to hear came through. Everything. And it was exactly what I needed to do, right? So I had to allow myself to let go of the tension of like, oh my God, I'm missing something, and being in that, oh my God, I'm missing something, and being like, okay, let me surrender, let me relax, let me clear my channel so that the clarity can come through. And this is such a Libra thing. And this is exactly what this herb does. The herb is literally, it's a nervine relaxant. It relaxes your nerves. It soothes your emotions, right? Like it's a soother. It also balances your emotions, right? It allows you to receive that truth through surrender, right? It's through release that you then receive this clarity that you need to receive this truth. And what it really is, it's that there is a cosmic truth that is out there, that your body is like struggling to hear or struggling to absorb or accept immediately. And what this flower allows you to do is that when you relax into it, it helps you relax your mental clutter, right? It relaxes your brain, it relaxes your tissues, and then you're all like ready to kind of like whatever comes, then you're able to feel it rather than being scared of like what is it, or scared of whatever, the story, the thoughts and whatnot. And I think that's just so freaking beautiful. Like, I think that is just so freaking aligned with the flower, with the herb, with the card, and also like understanding that things change, right? And in order for us to really be able to kind of like move forward, quote unquote, like to move not just forward, but to just move and evolve and whatnot, we need to understand that we are in this constant situation where we're receiving new information, and that's how we get to, when we accept that information and are able to kind of understand that fully and adjust and absorb it in our system, then we are able to kind of like navigate our life differently. And that's where the discernment comes through, where the heart and the mind are aligned, because now your mind is like, hey, this is a truth that we need to kind of accept. Your heart is set, and then you accept it, and then you get the full picture of it, right? Not through blame, not through, oh, this trigger came and this person and whatnot and what. No, it's like, hey, these are the facts, and let's accept the facts and take accountability for ourselves. And what do we do with that information? Right? And the wisdom aspect of this card, and that's what I really, really love about the freaking, like, the fullness of Libra, is that wisdom literally comes from the not, like, yes, you can learn all of the things, you can learn it all, and you can observe it all, and you can know things, but it doesn't mean shit if you do not act according to the information and the knowledge that you have. Because then you're just living in idealist land. You're living in the, you know what I mean? You're living in your head. When in reality, that's when you now start being like, okay, this is the knowledge I receive. I know this is how things are, blah, blah. I know this is the truth, and this is how I act based on this truth. That is wisdom. And that is what adjustment is all about. It's like, hey, you're constantly receiving new things and new knowledge and new truths. But what are you going to do with this truth? Because when you accept it and you're able to live in harmony in your body, that's when your life starts adjusting according to the truth. Do you see what I mean? Oh, and that's what I really love about this tea, this passion flower too, is that a huge part of it is that it helps one surrender into stillness, right? Like, it relaxes you to be in the moment. And I think that's the part where, like, usually you feel like you're stuck, but it's like, no, it is the moment of receival. You gotta be able to meet the situation where it's at. You gotta meet the truth where it's at. And usually that's what happens. The truth meets us exactly where we're at in the present moment. So this tea helps you to be in present moment, be in peace, and also it's a Venusian herb, right? So it works with the heart. It like allows you to let go of the self judgment and the wheels turning. It kind of lets you relax and just kind of accept and soothe and full of love. And you know, like, it's such a self love herb too, and I love 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 that. I feel like we've been having a theme lately with the type of herbs that we've been getting. It's very Venusian, and also Venus is doing a lot right now, and she is in Libra, you know what I mean? And she is also doing a bunch of aspects yesterday with Jupiter in Cancer, and we had that Venus in Cancer card yesterday, right? The two of cups. So you see how the universe speaks to us? It's always talking. You just need to know and decipher the messages, and that's what I really love about everything that I do. It's just peak joy for me to just be like, yeah, the universe just told me that. The wind just blew this way, and this is exactly what I said. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyways, so we're gonna steep this tea. I'm so excited. I'm having it right before I go to bed too. So I'm looking forward to kind of see how it goes. I'm going to eyeball it because that's where we're at in life right now, eyeballing tea. And kind of consider, what do I really want in life? And it is peace. And I will always choose myself. Always. Life is too short not to choose yourself. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we're gonna let the tea brew for a little bit. I don't know, but I do want to say another thing about the adjustment card, and it is that the Libra energy can be very self judging, right? It's like, oh, you should know better. That is a statement that I've had quite a bit. And I realized something also, which may not apply for everyone, but the way it applied for me was that when you are like a sensey person and you can like, see the pattern in something, sometimes you can almost like foretell or prophesy something, right? Because you know the pattern really early on. But you can't really stop it in a way. You know what I mean? Like, some things are just out of your control. And that's where you can end up in this you should know better. And that's where I want to just bring it back to the fact that you can know all of the things that you do. You can know so much, and it really wouldn't mean anything unless you practice, i.e., you gotta do something over and over and over again until it becomes like second nature. And that is when it is fully embodied. It is just not theory, it's not just in your head. It is your actual day-to-day life. And this brings me to one thing that I cannot believe I almost forgot to talk about, and it is values. Venus is all about values. What do you value? And that's something that I have realized that is part of my own journey, is to figure out what do I really value in life and go and kind of build a life around those values. And your values change. You got to try things out and just see, is that really, because then you could be in theory land and be like, no, like, I value relationships and I value people and I value this and this. But then in reality, it's like, are you doing it with intention, or are you doing it just because you think that's what you should do? That was a big thing for me with religion too. Religion kind of gives you a set of values and you just follow them. I'm not gonna into I'm not gonna get into that, but but you know what I mean? Like, I am someone who literally tries things for a living. You know what I mean? Like, my life is all about experiences. And the minute that like clicked into me, I'm like, oh, like I can learn all the things and I can fully understand them, but it will never be embodied until the experience has been experienced. And then I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And that's kind of how my life has been, honestly, is that I just learn a bunch of information. The information comes through. It comes through, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, I get it. And then I'm in a situation that proves to me, did I really get it? You know what I mean? And then the situation kind of occurs over and over and over again until you fully embody that, and you practice little by little by little, and then you find you're like, okay, yeah, like I really get it now because I am embodied in my decision in which how I navigate this situation. And it's because I choose myself. So that self-judgment can be transformed into self-worth. But you have to be kinder to yourself. Yeah, you have to be compassionate to yourself. And you have to be willing to see yourself objectively and see that you are in fact a human that messes up and will mess up and will make mistakes, and that you are exactly where you are at when you meet that information. And also that when you start accepting yourself and you put yourself in kind of like a realistic view of a human being, you realize that even your relationships reflect that now. A lot of my work is about you focusing on yourself and allowing that to be reflected outside of you. I am such a firm believer of like, work on yourself, bitch, and you can literally destroy all of these systems around you. But you need to understand how these systems are affecting you. But when you choose yourself, when you choose love, when you choose freedom, when you choose joy, so many things start falling apart. But it doesn't mean it's all chaos and rubble, and you know what I mean? It means, I mean, it is destruction. It also means you get to build the life that you actually want. You can build the self that you actually want. You can be the person that you actually want to be without guilt or shame or unrealistic expectations. So that's all I got for today. Oh, oh, she smells so good. Oh, she's also like orangish. This is my 12th brew. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I love you. Take care, and until next time.